Today's video will cover the custom build interior wiring, electronics, DC to DC charger, bedding, and table installs in my 2022 Mercedes-Benz 3500 XD. This page is about a man that bought his first pickup truck after he retired. He named it the Galaxy. This truck gave him so much capability that he decided to do more with it. So he bought this horse trailer that he wished to convert into an RV so he could travel around the country and enjoy life in a different way. And then he bought this 2022 Mercedes Sprinter 3500 XD that he can convert to VanLife so he can tow his motorcycles in his work trailer to different events around the country. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I hold a lot of materials and tools to my townhouse in Tampa so I can work on my Sprinter in more decent weather. That included the recliners and the wood that I took out of the Sprinter and other things that I needed. My first task after putting in the subfloor was to put in the flooring. So after I finished the flooring, then I started in the kitchen area. This is what the kitchen area looked like after the redesign from my previous design. Then I urgently had to put in the recliners to see how they would fit, to make sure I put them in the right spot before I start putting things down permanently. And this is how it looked at the end. So this is going to work out this way better than my original plan. This is the proof of concept of this design. You walk in, first thing you do is see the recliners. Off to the right, the kitchen area is kind of cluttered right now. Big TV up there, and the bed's going to be back there. More work to be done. And I can actually walk through here. And this is what the kitchen area looked like after I got a tank that fit properly. My friend Ricky completed the wall compared to what it was before. And I got the sink in there, and it touches the TV, but I'm not really worried about that. Today's progress. Got the tops made to the bed. Got the sink in. I got a top to the refrigerator. Yeah, I got to finish up. I got to make a backsplash part of this. I got a top for it. It's good. Nice looking sink. Turned out really nice. Then it became time for me to focus on putting in the air conditioner. Now this was kind of tough because of all the holes that needed to be cut into the van. This basement style air conditioner will serve as my air conditioner as well as my heat. So I got it in place, and we'll see how it works later. The AC is now fully installed. I got to seal it up best I can. Now it's time for me to put everything else in place. Look, I got the heat set down, waiting on it to kick in. As you can see, I insulated the wheel well with some 3M thin insulation. And then I ran the power to these plugs from the other plug I have here, behind the recliner. So I'm learning a lot of things doing this build. Okay, I got both plugs back in, and they both work. That's good. When I originally installed the AC, I actually ran the cord across the way to where the blue edge sits. But later on, I wound up wiring this thing through the walls. My friend Ricky showed me how to run the wires across the ceiling, behind the walls, and out again. Now that I covered that, it's time for me to show you the power that I ran to everything else. I used the DC side of my inverter to run this control center here, as well as there's a camera monitor that I put down there as well. The thing up to the top right is my DC to DC converter. I got it running in parallel with the solar coming from the roof, and then it runs down to the bottom. Now I was able to run power to my 12-volt refrigerator as shown here. First time powering up the refrigerator. Press the button, it didn't seem to work. I went back, to the battery, it showed it was putting out DC power. Sure enough, there it is. Wonderful, it works. All right then. After I unpacked my microwave, convection oven, as well as air fryer, I placed it here. I broke the microwave out. It wouldn't fit on the other side, so that's where it's gonna wind up sitting. I'll be put my cooktop over there underneath this box. I'll work that out later. Get ready to start powering things up. After I got this area done for what I had planned, I said it's time for me to go ahead and finish working on all the power sources. I never dealt with this kind of dual purpose box before. Before I used to have a separate DC and a separate AC circuit. So here I go, something new. Here's a bit of progress. I made the electrical panel box. I got to develop the size and staple it to the ground. I'm just running the DC wires for now. And I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for the AC wires later. Everything was going well. I can tell you in advance so you can know. On the AC side, it was working, but my tester kept showing I had an open ground. Long story short, make sure you ground this to the chassis of your vehicle, not just to the electrical unit. I got all the DC wires run with fuses and everything, and it works out fine. Got the wires coming in, connected up, and got the wire running over to the Blue Eddy. So we're good. It's looking good. Next step will be to go ahead and do the AC side, which is coming soon. There's wires all over. I haven't hooked anything up. Just want to show you that it's powered. And all I got to do is run these wires to the water pump and other switchable items. There's the thermostat to the fan, or the remote control rather. It works. Where's my Blue Eddy come from? That's my DC to DC generator. That's the cameras. Once I get them hooked up, those are the wires. So I'm making more steady progress. More to come. This one shows where I hooked up the remote control to the max air fan, and as well you can see my progress with the other powered item as well. So now I'm just going back to working on the air conditioner. The wire may look a mess, but believe it or not, it's organized. I have each one of them labeled. I know where they go, and you won't see all this when I finish this. The previous owner had left these live wires that was taped off from the battery into the cabin of the Sprinter. I decided to use these in support of my DC to DC charger. So I finally hooked up my Blue Eddy DC to DC charger to my battery connection. Just a temporary connection for now. We'll see how it works. Here you can see I've installed all but one of my AC circuit breakers into the box, and I'm slowly wiring each one of them as they come. A lesson learned here is that on a 30 amp application, you can only use the left side of this box. If you can go 50 amps, you can use the right side as well. But I want to keep mine at 30 amps. Throughout my application, I use these outlets. Two of them have USB-C connectors, and the other ones are GFCI. Behind the seat, recliner electrical outlets are in. They both accept USB, and everything is wired to the box. So most AC stuff is done. We're good. Now that I put the cover on the box and it's in place where I want it, it's time for me to create a permanent mount for it in this location and mount it to the floor. So that's what you'll see next. My control panel, my electrical box is fully done. I just need to connect it to the floor, create a framework for it. Now I'm running wires to the lights for the back and to the front. So I'm working that. Then I'll clean up all that stuff when I get that done. All those wires there. And we'll be good. Now I straighten up with the wires. Everything look nice and neat. The wires are coming through the wall behind it. And it's time to mount this thing. So it looks good. Fuse box is now mounted to the frame. It's not moving. Right above the hump. All I gotta do is press it and open it up. And there's my stuff. AC side, DC side. Yeah, she's not going anywhere. That's good. Then we're on the subject of electrical stuff. I decided to install an external electrical outlet that I can plug my Blue Yeti into to charge from the wall, as well as put an external outlet for me to be able to power my satellite from the outside of the van. These things look like they were factory installed, and they work good in my task to get power to and from different things with the Sprinter. Here's progress. I got 110 power to my Blue Yeti, and this is exterior power for Starlink. Good. So you can see, single unit, it's all in E5 here, and plug in for the side. It's all good. These are the type of LED lights I used for the front of the cabin on the Sprinter. And these are the connectors I use to hook them up at the end. And I think these work quite well, and it's useful when I have to change these things out. It'd be a simple matter of doing so. I'm sure you've seen these lights hanging down from the ceiling as I'm doing some of my other work. I'll discuss electrical stuff later on. Now I can discuss how these things are going to work in the kitchen. This is my proposed layout when I sit somewhere. Future look of the kitchen when I'm all done. When I get to my location, I can put the cookware there, and there's the sink, and there's a cutting board in there, microwave over there. And that'll sit there until I build a cabinet over here for the microwave in the future. We'll see how that goes. Got the AC on the power wall working. I'm sorry, the AC on the TV wall working. The microwave's plugged in and it works. I'm sure the TV is working. I just can't find a power button for it. But more to come. That's good. Okay, in the process of me trying to power on this 50-inch TV, I got this instead. So apparently this TV is busted. I verified this used TV was working when I left Georgia. So it was a very nice TV, very good idea to use it up front, but I'm going to have to change my plans as to what I'm going to put up front. I'm going to go to a smaller TV and change a new location for my microwave. This is my first try of using this smaller TV near the center of the front, but I began to realize that I'm going to have to redo this wall. So I cleared up everything, made the wall clear, and I'm going to replan of where this TV is going to sit and put the microwave to the left. This is the new location for the TV. Now I've got a workspace for the microwave on the left side of this, and it won't interfere with the sink. Finished getting the microwave in. The curvature of the microwave kind of kept it from sitting exactly straight, but it's in there. I'll work that out later. And I got room for my sprayer to move both ways without being interfered with, without being in the way. So we're good. And yes, I'm sure you noticed the microwave is crooked, but I'll fix that in a later iteration of this. This is the bottom view of the microwave and TV. Based on the fact that it might be dark underneath the microwave, I plan on putting lights underneath that microwave. So there, I've straightened the microwave out and it looks good. So I like the way it looks now. I'm about to do some more work, but when I get it right, it'll be right. And you see it doesn't interfere with anything now. I moved everything around, and I'm going to take all these down when I start working on the ceiling. Then it's time for me to show you how I finished the bedding area of the Sprinter. This was not hard to do, but I had to change the plans, lower it down a little bit to keep from interfering with the recliners, and to keep from interfering with the back of the bed when it comes near the door. Progress, the ends of both beds have been installed. At the other end also. So later on, once I finish getting these things attached to the wall, I'll put the tops on. Stuff in the way right now, but I'm getting there. I got these things battened down to keep them from moving. So everything's going well. This is what the beds look like when they're fully covered. I intentionally left a lip around their side and the back so that the cushion itself would not slide left or backwards. So they turn out pretty nicely. The bed's fully installed. All I gotta do to put the cushions on, and I got lift handles. The only thing I gotta do is change that out of the way because this will hold it up, but those get in the way. I'm not really worried about that right now. That's good. Progress. All I gotta do is work on the left side now. The left side was a little different because I had to put the vents in the forward and the rear of it, as well as the air return vent in the middle. The left side is now done with the vent for the air conditioner, forward and back, and the intake for the air. So I got it all done, both sides. So now I got to do some opening holes here and run the hoses to the air conditioner, to the vents. Looking good. I made a few mistakes with the hole saw, got crazy because I didn't have the auger screw in there, but I'll be able to fix that later. What I gotta do is I got these holes in here, pick that up, got excess. There's the tube I got to run to there, and the tube will run to there. I might run a tube out the back to run up and forward, but we'll see. But she's in there, no problems binding or anything. That's good. Here they are in the same photo, side by side, and you see the nice full lane in between them. So this is going to turn out pretty nicely. From the front to the back. Here's a picture from the rear of the vehicle with the old TV still installed, but you'll get the idea of where I'm going with this. Now it's time for me to run the hoses to the air conditioner to the vents. So it wasn't very hard to do. I had to cut these things to size, and I did them all at that point, both of those vents except for the top one. I reserved that for later when I have time to run it from that up the back and across the top of the ceiling to the front. I found some bins that will fit these compartments. I estimated I could use 5 to 6 of these bins between these two under storage units. This is what it looked like with the cushions installed. I ordered these cushions to size, and they fit nicely. And they're very comfortable. I got one in firm and the other one in semi-firm. I have both beds installed. Looking good. I could go inside and get the pillows. And the bed portion will be done. Here one bed is with a pillow. Now that I got the bedding done, it's time for me to look at other furniture items as well as consider insulating and finish off the ceiling. I ordered a work desk by each recliner, similar to something like this, but not as elaborate as the way this one is deployed. Then I found this online, and that black item there is actually the desk folded up. And now you see it folded down. that gave me some ideas as to how I'm going to do mine. So based on the work I did in my RV trailer regarding a Murphy bed, I came up with this idea. I'm going to show you how a little desk on the driver's side is going to work. It'll hang up there with a thing will hold that in place. Then you let it down, the legs swing out, lock in place. Nice and sturdy. Wonderful. Now I got a little workspace. This is the class I designed to hold this thing up when not being used. And based on this location, it won't be in my way as I'm working at the kitchen or near the kitchen sink. Now I got the clasp to hold this whole unit up. All I gotta do is twist and the table comes down. Put it back up, turn it back in place. Don't want it too tight. Want to be able to not fight it coming in and out. That's good. I know I covered a lot of areas in a single video, but I just want to get this out. Now you see the prelude to me insulating the ceiling and getting everything in place. I'll show more of this on my next video. Thanks for watching.